good to see you this morning. When we have superstars in the room, like Madam CEO and Ambassador Young, everybody wants to say hello and get a moment, so we take our time, but we're right on time, right? So good morning, everyone. Welcome to your 42nd annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. There you go. Thank you. I'm Lori Wilson. I anchor Channel 2 Action News this morning from 4:30 to 9 a.m. on Channel 2 every day. You didn't have to applaud for that. It's just they pay me to do that, but I just wanted you all to have a little sympathy, maybe join me at 4:30 on Monday morning. We're going to go ahead and begin our program with the invocation by Reverend Dr. Byron Thomas, pastor of Glen Memorial United Methodist Church.
Gracious and all-wise God, we give you thanks for this occasion where you have gathered us to remember the man who stood to meet his moment, along with so many others. We simply pray for the courage and the faith to stand in this time to meet our moment, trusting that you will be with us, to give us guidance, to give us strength, and to give us courage. And now we give you thanks to the one in whom we live, and in whom we move, and in whom we have our being. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Thomas. And if you all will please stand for the presentation of colors, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem, led by international jazz vocalist Lori Williams.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Order. Mark. Right there. Mark.
Will you all join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. You can be seated. We want to thank the DeKalb County Police Honor Guard for the presentation of colors, and thank you all so much for being here this morning for this very special celebration. Today, for the 42nd consecutive year, we gather to celebrate and honor the life and legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one of the most transformational and inspiring leaders in history. During today's program, we'll recognize two remarkable individuals with the Nathaniel Mosby Humanitarian Award. We're going to hear some beautiful music, as we already have. We're going to hear a special recitation of a portion of Dr. King's historic I Have a Dream speech. And we're going to experience an incredible fireside conversation featuring CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson and Ambassador Andrew Young. You know, one of those conversations you just want to be a fly on the wall. We get to be that today. All of today's speakers, performers, their biographies, you can actually access them just by scanning the QR code on the back of your program if you'd like to hear and learn more. To formally welcome us, please join me in welcoming the presiding officer of the DeKalb County Board of Commissioners, Commissioner Shakira Johnson.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Commissioner Shakira Johnson, your presiding officer for DeKalb County and your District 4 Commissioner. I am truly honored to welcome you to this special community conversation celebrating the enduring legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King reminded us that leadership is not about a position or a title, but about service. He challenged us to see beyond division and to build what he called the beloved community. A society rooted in justice, equal opportunity, and love for one another. His courage in the face of adversity, his unwavering commitment to nonviolence, and his belief that ordinary citizens could create extraordinary change. This continues to serve as a moral compass for our nation and for our work here in DeKalb County. Dr. King understood that progress requires both vision and action. He taught us that silence in the face of injustice is not neutrality, it is complicity. And he reminded us that meaningful change happens when communities come together with purpose, discipline, and hope. His dream was not simply aspirational, it was a call to responsibility, a call that still echoes today. We are especially privileged this morning to hear from two remarkable leaders, our Madam CEO, Lorraine Cochran-Johnson, who exemplifies forward-thinking leadership and a steadfast commitment to strengthening our community, expanding opportunity, and ensuring that progress reaches every corner of DeKalb County. And we are deeply honored to welcome Ambassador Andrew Young, a statesman, civil rights icon, and living witness to history. As a close confidant and strategist along Dr. King, Ambassador Young helped organize pivotal campaigns that shaped the civil rights movement and transformed this nation. His leadership extended beyond the movement, from serving in Congress to representing the United States at the United Nations, and later leading the city of Atlanta as mayor. Through every chapter, he carried forward the principles of justice, diplomacy, and bridge building that defined Dr. King's work. Ambassador Young's life reminds us that movements do not end, they evolve. The responsibility to protect voting rights, expand economic opportunity, and strengthen communities is ongoing. His presence here today connects us directly to the living legacy of the civil rights movement and challenges us to consider how we will carry that legacy forward in every day in all the work that we do. Thank you to Laura Wilson of WSB TV for guiding this important and timely conversation. May this morning not only honor Dr. King's extraordinary legacy, but also renew our collective commitment to building a more just, inclusive, and united DeKalb County. Let us leave here inspired, not only by history, but motivated to write the next chapter together. Thank you and welcome. At this time, I'd also like to recognize all elected officials, and fortunately, there are way too many in the room for me to name individually. So if you are an elected official, please stand and be honored and welcomed. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Johnson. Now, I'd like to welcome back this morning's vocalist, Lori Williams. She's an acclaimed international jazz vocalist, educator, songwriter, producer with more than 30 years of experience, known for her warm, expressive, soul-influenced style. She's released multiple independent albums, including Here We Are and Eclipse of the Soul, and has performed worldwide at venues including the Kennedy Center. Please join me in welcoming back to the stage Lori Williams.
Can I say thanks for the things you've done for me? Things so undeserved, yet you gave to prove your love for me. The voices of a million angels cannot express my gratitude. All that I am and ever hope to be, I owe it all to thee. Owe it all to thee. How can I say thanks for the things you have done for me? Things so undeserved, yet you gave to prove your love for me. The voices of a million angels cannot express my gratitude. All that I am and ever hope to be, I owe it all to thee. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. To God be the glory for the things he has done with his blood. He has saved me with his power. He has raised me. To God be the glory for the things he has done. Just let me live my life. May it be pleasing, Lord, to thee. And if I should gain any praise at all, let it go to Calvary. With his blood, he has saved me. With his mighty power, he has raised me. To God be the glory for the things for the many things for the things he has done. He has done for the many things he has done. Larry Wilson, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a Larry Wilson, a Lori Williams, and a Lori Wilson. Okay, we're going to get it together. I'm just trying to keep us straight. Thank you so much for that beautiful selection. If nobody's hugged you today, hopefully that felt like a nice hug to start your morning. Now, I'm honored to introduce Madam CEO, Lorraine Cochran-Johnson. She's going to present this year's Nathaniel Mosby Humanitarian Awards. Since taking office in January of 2025, she's led one of Georgia's largest, most diverse communities, serving 770,000 residents. She made history as the first African-American woman elected to serve as DeKalb County CEO. In her first year, CEO Cochran-Johnson led the largest infrastructure investment in the county's history, advancing a $4.27 billion water and sewer modernization plan to address aging systems and prepare DeKalb County for long-term economic growth. She also championed a $12.5 million public safety package, including a $2 million real-time crime center and salary increases, yes, that now place DeKalb County police officers among the highest paid in the Southeast. Her leadership also includes an $8 million investment in Park 500 to support housing insecure families and the launch of the Water Rate Assistance Program in partnership with the Urban League to assist eligible residents with rising utility costs. Prior to serving as CEO, she represented Super District 7 on the DeKalb County Board of Commissioners, where she chaired the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee and oversaw the allocation of more than $1.4 billion in funding. You guys know you have a rock star CEO. I know you guys know that. So please help me, join me in welcoming to the stage CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson.
Good morning, everyone. Let me first acknowledge Lori. I think you guys may have missed the soundbite. She actually had to leave work early this morning in order to be with us. So I want to say thank you for being present. You're always such a warm spirit. Yes, she does deserve a round of applause. And let me also say to anyone who may not be aware that DeKalb County's MLK program is the longest running Black History program in the state of Georgia. This program speaks to our commitment. And I also want to say to everyone that's present, when we celebrate people or contributions of one group, in no way does it diminish the contributions of all people. Yes. So we're very proud, and I also have to acknowledge Commissioner Robert Patrick, who is here with us this morning, because I serve alongside some extremely extraordinary people, and what you're experiencing here today is just a part of our commitment. So Lori, thank you so much. Today, before I go forward, I'd like to go back, and we would like to acknowledge the gentleman
for whose name the awards that are giving here this morning actually bear, and that is Mr. Nathaniel Mosby. The Nathaniel Mosby Humanitarian Award is named for a former DeKalb County Commissioner. He was also a Korean War veteran and a long-life community servant. He was a builder of institutions, and he was known for being a champion of people. He helped found the Oakhurst Community Health Center, and he served on the Community Relations Committee for 14 years. He chaired it for 7, and he dedicated decades of years of service to both local government as well as the federal level. Even in retirement, he continued his advocacy for community as a mentor and also leading his church community. Those who knew him described him as someone who was always ready to lend a hand, who was always willing to lift others up, and also a man who served without recognition. And I want to say that it's a wonderful thing to be acknowledged, but there are many people who do great works with whom you may never know. And that's why today was so important, because I'm certain that there is at least one here today that you may not have known who's been on the front line of so many movements. So we are so honored to have 2 amazing people with us. So today we recognize 2 extraordinary leaders who embody the same spirit as Nathaniel Mosby. Our first award is being presented today to Justice Leah Ward Sears. Please turn your attention to the monitors.
DeKalb County CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson proudly announces Justice Leah Ward Sears as a 2026 Nathaniel Mosby Humanitarian Award recipient. Justice Sears is a true trailblazer. A former Chief Justice of the Georgia Supreme Court, she has dedicated her life to public service and breaking barriers. At just 32, she became the first African-American woman to serve on a Georgia Superior Court. At 36, she was the first woman and youngest person appointed to the Georgia Supreme Court. She later made history as the first African-American woman to lead a state Supreme Court in the United States of America. Now returning to her roots in DeKalb County, Justice Leah Ward Sears currently serves as the interim president of Emory University. She is an alumna of Emory School of Law, served as an adjunct professor at the law school, and has served as a member of the Emory Board of Trustees for the past 15 years. As interim president, Justice Sears is guiding the university forward, deepening its commitment to academic distinction, groundbreaking research, and world-class healthcare, all in service to humanity. We proudly congratulate Justice Leah Ward Sears, a 2026 Nathaniel Mosby Humanitarian Award recipient.
Justice Sears, please come forward. Let me say that it is absolutely amazing that she is here with the man who appointed her to the Georgia State Supreme Court, former mayor of the city of Atlanta, Andrew Young.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Whoa, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and I want to thank you, Madam CEO, for this wonderful award. And I also want to acknowledge one of my great mentors, Andrew Young, who was the first person to put me on the City of Atlanta Traffic Court when I was 27 years old. 27 years old, which began my ascent up into the judiciary. So thank you all. I am named and honored to be named a 2026 honoree of the DeKalb County Nathaniel Mosby Humanitarian Award. Again, thank you, Lorraine Cochran-Johnson, and everyone who continues this tradition each year. Emory University is a proud partner with DeKalb County in every way. Now, as interim president of Emory University and someone who has dedicated her life to justice and service, receiving this honor here in DeKalb County, a community that obviously has helped shape my conscience and strengthen my beliefs, means more than words can possibly convey. The name of this great award carries great weight because Mr. Mosby always reminded us that service is not an achievement to be celebrated and set aside. It is actually a mandate, a moral obligation that renews itself with each generation, each struggle, and each unmet need. Today, I see this honor not as an endpoint, but as a call to action, urging us to move forward with renewed purpose, to break down barriers that have persisted far too long, to create opportunities where they have been denied, and to face this moment with bravery, to speak the truth and the compassion to serve everyone, absolutely everyone. To those who came before us and laid this foundation, we are grateful. To those beside us doing the work, we are stronger together. And to those who inherit what we will build, we will not fail you. Thank you for this privilege and for the sacred work we will continue to do together. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Justice Sears, for accepting the award and for being present. And thank you so much for your spirit and your energy. I can say that I am proud to have the honor of knowing you and the ability to reach out. And you exemplify giving what you have been given. And for that, we are all very grateful. Our second recipient of the Nathaniel Mosby Humanitarian Award is Rabbi Zev-Hayyim Feyer. Please turn your attention to the monitors.
DeKalb County CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson proudly announces Rabbi Zev-Hayyim Feyer as a 2026 Nathaniel Mosby Humanitarian Award recipient. Rabbi Feyer is a well-known leader, educator, and advocate for social justice. As a practicing rabbi, Feyer frequently leads Torah study programs and educational sessions. In 1982, he marched with renowned American civil rights leader John Lewis at the 17th anniversary Selma to Montgomery March. This symbolic act served to commemorate the 1965 Bloody Sunday voting rights marches, honoring those who fought for voting rights. On a local level, he actively champions equal opportunity and the rights of marginalized groups. His civil rights work and theological teachings embody the core principles of the Nathaniel Mosby Humanitarian Award. We proudly congratulate Rabbi Zev-Hayyim Feyer as a 2026 Nathaniel Mosby Humanitarian Award recipient.
Wow. I'm kind of connecting right now with the great Bengali poet Rabindranath Tagore, who said, "Praise shames me, it embarrasses me, but I love it." I'm honored to be here today with you. I thank you for having me here. Madam CEO, thank you so much for this honor. And all I can do is really echo what's already been said. I've been in this struggle for over 70 years. I got my start as an 11-year-old kid, handing out Stevenson for President flyers in 1952 on the corner of 94th Street and Madison Avenue in New York City. And I've been all sorts of places, all sorts of times ever since then. And I want to tell you, the struggle never ends. The struggle never will end. God forbid the struggle should ever end. Because freedom is not a destination. Freedom is a journey. And in every generation, we learn to do better. There are things that our grandparents and our great-grandparents thought were okay that we learned are not okay. It took a civil war to teach us some of it. There are folks out there who haven't learned it yet. It took a Supreme Court to teach us some of it. And I don't know what it's going to take to teach us more. But I do know that there are things that we think are okay that our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren and their grandchildren will realize we can do better. And in every generation, we learn to do better. So I thank you for this award. And all I can say is, keep on walking, keep on talking. Freedom is not the destination, it's the journey. God bless you all.
We're gonna get this over to your table, okay?
Thank you.
You are welcome. Let's get you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Let me say thank you to Rabbi Zev. I remember the first time that I encountered him, and for those of you that are meeting him for the first time, you've just received a small snippet of a very deep and profound man who has truly been a student of the civil rights movement, who exemplifies what it is to be on the front line and also to hold the line. We live in a time where it's often difficult, it seems, for some to do the right thing, and also a time where in many instances it feels individuals don't understand that it doesn't matter what ship you came here on, we're all in the same boat now. So when I meet people like you, Rabbi Zev, it truly warms my heart. And also it's a bit disappointing that the fight continues in the way that it has. But we're very grateful for you, and we're grateful for your service, because throughout your life you've had to take often very uncomfortable positions. But you have a moral compass that is exemplary. So with that, at this time, I'll now turn over the program back to Lorraine Wilson.
Thank you, Madam CEO. Don't go far, though, because we've got your fireside chat coming up. But boy, I know I feel better just being in the room with Rabbi Zev. Justice Ward Sears, thank you so much for the work that you've done for inspiring us today. At this time, I would like to bring forward a young man who is going to give us a rendition of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s most iconic speech, I Have a Dream. He's going to give us part of it. Please join me in welcoming the amazing Alaric Johnson Watkins.
Good morning. I just wanted to say I'm so proud to be here. I'm so thankful for everyone that's shaped and forged my future, that's forged the past and the present. And I just wanted to say, I remember Rabbi Zev saying that he's hoping that we'll change the future. And I want to tell you that we got this. We'll make sure. We'll make sure. So without further ado, I'd like to recite a snippet of Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. I say to you today, my friends, that even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream very deep, very rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even in the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be able to transform into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day be able to live in a nation where they are not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain will be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. The glory of the Lord will be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the dream I go back to the South with. With this dream, we'll be able to hew out the mountain of despair, a stone of hope. With this dream, we'll be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will all be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow freedom to ring from every village and every hamlet, we'll be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Thank you so much.
Okay, can we give another round of applause to Alaric Jason Watkins, who said, "Don't worry, I've got this. I've got this. I've got an 8-year-old I'm going to send your way." You know, you're never too young to be able to be a mentor, to make history, to do something important, just like you're never too mature to do something that makes a difference in someone's life. And that was a beautiful moment. And what I enjoyed was watching Ambassador Young listen to young Alaric. Okay, we are going to move on. Those words, of course, continue to challenge us, inspire us, call us to action. And they remind us of the work of justice, equity, and service, that it did not end in 1963. It continues today, just like we heard from the Justice, and of course, just like we heard from Rabbi Zev as well. It is in that spirit that we move into our next conversation. We want to welcome CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson back to the stage with our honored guest who is making his way to the stage this morning, Ambassador Andrew Young, for their fireside chat. And as they make their way, I'm going to give you just a little information. It is my distinct honor to be on the stage with these two. Ambassador Young, globally recognized civil rights leader, diplomat, public servant whose career spans more than 60 decades, a key strategist in the civil rights movement, working alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the campaigns that led to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. He later served as the first African-American U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, a member of Congress, and a two-term mayor of Atlanta, where he helped drive historic economic growth and international investment. A lifelong advocate for human rights and global development, Ambassador Young continues his work through the Andrew J. Young Foundation. I know there are some people you don't have to introduce, and I know he is one of those people, but how lovely is it to give him his flowers on this morning. Please welcome Ambassador Andrew Young and CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson.
Okay, both microphones are on, so I think we're ready to go.
All right.
Let me say that it is not often you get to sit with an individual who witnessed history, but also was a part of making it. So this morning, I feel extremely honored to sit with you, to have this conversation, and particularly at such a time as this.
I think you made some history this morning. And this young man, you're going to hear from again.
Oh, absolutely.
And I want to thank you.
Yes.
I want to thank you for inviting our mistress of ceremonies. And one of the places we had real trouble was one of the counties up north. And I heard that she was giving a speech up there. And when we marched up there, they threw bottles and bricks and firecrackers after us, and she was making a speech. And so I went. And she made a wonderful speech about civil rights, but she didn't say black, she didn't say white. She talked about her hair and the trouble she had with her hair and in her business. And everybody understood.
Yes.
And they cheered, and she wakes me up in the morning at 4:30 because I figure on WSB, because I figured that I can go back to sleep after I find out what's going on in the world. So I want to thank you because she's one of my heroes.
She is. And
make the weather a little better next week.
And let me say, Lori is here because I feel and share those same sentiments.
Can I make one more commercial?
Oh, absolutely. This is all about you. This is our conversation.
I think Justice Collins at Sears was 26 when her name came up to be appointed a judge of the municipal court. And I had a demonstration against me because I didn't pick her name first. But I have the 3 daughters, and they cussed me out from good morning to great day, and because they said, how are you ever going to get women on the courts if you don't appoint them to the municipal court when they're 25, 26? And I said, well, I never thought of that. And my 3 daughters said, you should have, and don't you forget it. So the distinguished career that she's had as throughout the judiciary of Georgia and the federal bench, and now acting president of Emory University, that And the young man you just put up here,
Yes.
I mean, he is already somebody.
Yes.
And he told us he's got this. And I'm holding him to his word.
Absolutely, and I'm so proud. His mom actually works in our office alongside us, and we couldn't be more proud of him and so many that have made contributions. But let's start this conversation because you were on the front line. And if you will, share with us what was the most memorable experience you had during the time you served alongside Dr. King.
Well, the most memorable occasion I had was when Dr. King sent me to St. Augustine, Florida, to stop a movement. The Supreme Court, the federal Congress was in the middle of a filibuster trying to stop the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And the demonstrations in St. Augustine, Florida, were getting really violent. And Dr. King was afraid that, they had actually, the sheriff down there, actually paid the Ku Klux Klan to beat us up. And Dr. King said he didn't want any of us to get hurt, but he didn't want, more than that, he didn't want anybody to hurt the Klan. He said if the black community turns violent against the violence of the Klan, we could lose the Civil Rights Bill. And so he sent me down there, and with Hosea Williams, and Jose got there before I did, and he said, he organized the march. And I said, Dr. King sent me here to stop the march. He doesn't want any bloodshed. The week before they're supposed to pass the Civil Rights Bill. And I was hooked because everybody there was freedom high. And so I decided that if I led the march, I could get to the point where they could see the Klan and then they would turn around. And I did that, and we got down there and we saw all the Klan making all the noise and cussing and breaking bottles. And I said, we're gonna pray, knowing that I could pray folk go back to the church. And when I got through praying, one of the sisters said, be not dismayed, whatever betide, God will take care of you. And if you excuse me, I said, oh. And these people ain't turning around. And so when we got up to the next corner where the Klan was, I ended up going across because we didn't want anybody else to get hurt, trying to think that I could talk them down a bit. And I was doing all right until somebody slipped up behind me and hit me with something. And the next thing I knew, I was on the ground, but I didn't even know it. Wow. I didn't know it till 5 or 6 years later when I saw the films, because there was no press there. And the films were taken by the police. And but it was a good 15-minute whipping. And kicking and beating and clubbing. And but nothing hurt. I have headaches all the time. That night I didn't have a headache. And when they stopped and we got up, I said, we have to go on. And we went on, and this lady who now is 102 was in that march with me in 1964. And she's still raising sand. And I remember somebody saying, excuse me, I'm quoting the Klan, them got some nerve. And the good sister who was 64 from whatever it is today, said, it's not nerve, son, it's faith.
Wow.
And don't forget it.
Wow.
And that's, a week later, we had the Civil Rights Bill passed.
Thank you.
In 1964. And I figured that nobody got hurt, because when the Klan came to march in the black community down Lincolnville, they called it, all the same, and interestingly enough, it was mostly women and children, women and young teenagers that were in the demonstration. Men back then didn't want to say they were not nonviolent. And I said, well, you've been quiet so far, just stay quiet for a while longer. And, but when the Klan walked down through Lincolnville in their regalia, these folks started singing, I love everybody. I love everybody in my heart. I feel the love of Jesus. I feel the love of Jesus. I feel the love of Jesus in my heart. That's why you can't make me doubt him. I know too much about him.
And I must ask, because, you know, understanding the civil rights movement and also a glimpse from history of what you've experienced.
You have one of your distinguished citizens from this county that actually had the first sit-in there in St. Augustine. Golly, I'm getting old.
It's okay. It'll come back when we keep talking.
He led the first sit-in there. He's the one who has done the most in the civil rights movement.
Is it Thomas?
He went to Howard University, and then he volunteered for the military because he didn't want to kill anybody, and he volunteered as a medic and got injured and won the Purple Heart. He came back here, and he bought the Dairy Queen around the corner from my house, and so from marching, from voting in politics and business, and he went from that Dairy Queen, Hank Johnson.
Hank? Oh my goodness. Yes.
Not the congressman.
Right. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
but he took part in the Freedom Rides and was on there's a picture of him that he's got at his house where he was on a Freedom Ride that was bombed and everybody was sort of gagged there. He came back though, and when I became mayor, he asked me to come. By that time, he owned a couple of McDonald's, and Fisk University was having trouble. And so he asked me if I would come bake biscuits with him one morning. And all the money that day would go to Fisk to help them with their financial problems. Then he sold all of his Dairy Queens and ended up with 3 Marriotts. Down the Florida coast. And I don't know anybody in the movement that went through every phase, starting with a sit-in while he was a college student, going to the military, getting wounded, and the Purple Heart, and then coming back and going into business. He also was one of the major contributors to Morehouse Medical School and was a member of their board, so that even when he made a lot of money, he was always giving it away to the next great cause. And if you sometimes pass Morehouse and see what a beautiful medical school that is, you realize that this civil rights movement doesn't end.
And that's, well, I think there was a round of applause. Yeah, let's get that out of the way. You know, one thing that strikes me about your journey and the civil rights movement is, honestly, it required a great deal of courage. And were there any times that you felt that the movement wasn't possible, or you doubted the ability to?
No, because I grew up too singing, "You Can't Make Me Doubt Him, I Know Too Much About Him."
So
I got the love of Jesus in my heart. But and it's true. Not only did I not get scared, I got my ass whipped and I didn't even have a headache. I mean, I realize I have headaches all the time. I'm very nervous. But for that period, with those demonstrations, that weekend, I didn't have a headache. I wasn't the least bit nervous. And it was because I saw that this movement was grounded in faith. And faith plugs in the power of God into what you're trying to do. So even when you don't do it perfect, somehow the Lord can make a way out of no way. And we have had progress even when we're sorry.
Wow. And I must say, too.
Let me say about you and that when I got to be mayor, we had real problems. And I didn't know anybody. And somebody told me to go to Manuel's Tavern. And that Manuel Maloof would help me figure out what to do. It was about a wastewater treatment facility. And we didn't have enough money in Fulton County and Atlanta. And I heard DeKalb didn't have enough money either. And so I went to see Manuel, and I didn't drink beer, but I did have a hot dog, sitting at the bar. And we figured out how are we going to get this wastewater treatment facility. And I think we had 25 million, and DeKalb had 20 million. But we needed 60 million or something like that. And we were sitting there, and finally he said, "You know, I just heard that Gwinnett is having trouble. They can't give any more building permits because they don't have the wastewater facilities."
We've been there.
And he said, "Do you think we could pull them in with Fulton and DeKalb?" I said, "It's all right with me. We need the money. They got it." And so we got the extra 10 million from Gwinnett, and that put it all together, Gwinnett, Fulton, and DeKalb. And that took it through most of my career. I don't know what they're doing now, but from in the 80s through the Olympics, we didn't have any wastewater problems. Now we're getting so big.
Exactly, and with growth comes challenge.
But the other thing we wouldn't have had if Fulton and DeKalb had not both gotten together and voted for the mass transit system. We didn't win that race, that election, but 400 votes. And we were the only city, metropolitan area in the whole United States that voted to tax ourselves 1 cent and get 90 cents. You'd think everybody was sensible enough to do that, but we were the only ones that were able to pull it off.
And let me say that, you know, much of the work that was done during that period, and you're talking about primarily around 1971 when you start talking about MARTA. Now, of course, because of growth and infrastructure and population changes, of course, just as Rabbi Zeb said, the struggle continues. Because now there's need for expansion. But, you know, one of the things you talked about extensively has been faith. But also with faith, leadership is required. And you're very unique because you have served, in the middle of the civil rights movement. Of course, you're an ambassador, a congressman, and also you've served as the mayor of the city of Atlanta. And what would you say to leaders at this time, at this moment, that are faced with often very difficult decisions, understanding the climate that we have in America from the White House at this time?
Well, I was born in 1932, and one of the first things I remember was Franklin Roosevelt saying, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." And then as I got a little older, I heard a group called the Andrews Sisters. And they used to sing a song saying, "You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, and don't mess with Mr. In-Between." So that is sort of the kind of, that plus all the spirituals and all of the Psalms, all of the Bible readings, and it's amazing. I'm not a Bible scholar, though I did struggle through seminary. But whenever I get weary and think my work's in vain, then comes the Holy Spirit to revive my soul again. Because as Dr. King used to say, there is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. There's a balm in Gilead that makes the wounded whole. And he said, black men and women in slavery had more faith sometimes than even the prophet Jeremiah, because they took Jeremiah's question mark. Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? And they straightened out Jeremiah's question mark into an exclamation point and said, yes, there is a balm in Gilead that will make the wounded whole. There's a balm in Gilead that heals the sin-sick soul. So when I get discouraged and think my work's in vain, then comes the Holy Spirit to revive my soul again.
Wow, those are truly amazing words. Spoken from someone on the front line. Now, one question that I have for you also is, if Dr. King was here today, understanding his vision for people to come together in unity, what do you think he would say about where we are at this moment?
Well, I can just remember, the thing I remember at these times, the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Truth crushed to earth will rise again. Truth forever on the scaffold, wrong forever on the throne. Yet that scaffold sways the future, for behind the dim unknown standeth God within the shadows, keeping watch above his own. And he said it over and over. And I can tell, that's the way I could tell when he was getting a little nervous, because even when I got down here in Albany, Georgia in 1962, everybody was threatening his life. And so anytime he marched, there were people warning him that he shouldn't march, because there were people that were waiting to kill him. And he refused to be deterred. I remember in Selma, they said they're going through into Montgomery. They said, we can't possibly, the FBI was saying that, we can't possibly protect him marching in front line. And he wouldn't get in a car. And so I picked everybody, they say all of us look alike. So every preacher I saw with a dark blue suit, I said, would you come in here and march with Dr. King? And so everybody on the front row had blue suits on. And because they say we all look alike. And I figure that might be the best protection he had. He didn't get shot that day either, though.
You know, today, of course, you know, we've heard our student and a young person recite Dr. King's speech. And there's so many different elements of it that's relevant to today. But what would you say to people that are sitting in this room as it relates to our contributions and what we should be doing to change the world and make our communities a better place?
Well, when I came to Atlanta, I was 14. I came to a YMCA conference, and the Klan marched down Auburn Avenue. And nobody was nervous, nobody was afraid. We've just continued to go on a step at a time. And there's always been somebody around. Like I did not want to be mayor. I was through with politics. I was broke. Mayor's salary back then was $50,000 a year, and I had 3 kids ready to go to college. And I didn't know how we were going to make it. I forgot my wife had a master's degree and was a teacher, and we made it through. But I thought it was my responsibility to educate my children, because even at $50,000, my wife and whatever teachers were making, she always felt that scholarships were for poor people, and we had to pay our own children's tuition wherever they wanted to go. And but we never missed a payment, and all of my kids are doing better than I ever thought they'd do.
Well, let me commend you, because you are correct.
Including the one that's already in heaven.
Wow.
That died of cancer just a few months ago.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes. And I believe it's safe to say that people from afar prayed and wept alongside your family. And I hope that you're comforted in the memories, because she was an amazing young woman. A true testament of who you are. And, you know, as we bring the conversation to a close today, what would be your words to those that are sitting here this morning who understand the legacy? As Rabbi Zev said, the struggle and the fight continues. It's not a destination, it's a journey. What would you say as our takeaway as to our future and how we come together to protect, and also in difficult times, what will be your words of wisdom?
You know, it always goes back to the Bible and the spirituals. And yeah, nobody knows the trouble I see, but sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down, but oh yes, Lord, still my soul is heavenly bound. And I think of heavenly bound not as going beyond time and space, but I think of heavenly bound as paving the streets, picking up the garbage, educating the children. That we have done really a wonderful job in this metropolitan area. And when I came here, we didn't have 500,000 people. And now we're over 5 million, and we'll probably be 7 or 8 million before long, because we got something right. We also, my grandmama always played the numbers, and I didn't like the numbers. But when we had to take the lottery money and put it into education, I said, this is what Granny was talking about. And so now, I don't know whether it's a metropolitan area, Atlanta, but it was Forbes magazine that said that this area, whatever area they chose, 60% of its citizens have been to college. And that is miraculous. No other city in the world can come close to that. And I mean, when I was mayor, Georgia State had 400 students. Now they got 52,000.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech had about 10,000 students. Now they've got 72,000. They got more women and more Hispanics and more African Americans than almost any school in the country, and maybe in the world. And so, as bad as we are and as sorry as we can be, most of the time we make a way out of no way and get it right. And I don't think we're going to change that anyway.
Well, let me say that you are such an extraordinary person, and I see you are in high demand. And we don't have to wonder why in this room, okay? You know, I want to say that on behalf of DeKalb County and our more than 770,000 residents, we're grateful for you. America is grateful for you. You are here today, and it means a great deal to us because what happened during the civil rights movement is honestly, in many ways, a blueprint for today. When you say that the movement was grounded in faith, you know, I'm biblically based. I often say I'm from LA down in lower Alabama, and my grandfather and family members, Joseph Reed and others fought on the front line of the movement. And we all have a role to play. But before we conclude today's program, there's one honor that must be given. DeKalb County would like to reflect not only on the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, but there's very few individuals that we actually have with us who were on the front line alongside him, and you happen to be sitting here with us today because you have truly helped carry the dream forward, and for many people, you serve as an inspiration. And honestly, I challenge everyone in this room to rise to the occasion as you have and to be on the front line. So not only did you stand during the civil rights movement, but you helped shape legislation, you've helped change a nation, and honestly, you have helped shape Metro Atlanta into what it has and continues to become. You've represented the United States on a global stage as an ambassador to the United Nations, and also led the city of Atlanta through a period of growth that is unprecedented. And it's absolutely amazing to me to hear you speak of Manuel Maloof, because he was the very first CEO of DeKalb County. And boy, have I heard some great stories about him. Not all quite as civil as what you've said, but that he was a man of extreme spirit. But more than titles and more than offices and more than recognition, your life has reflected something deeper. It has reflected conviction, you've reflected courage, also faith and service. And because of that today, we would like to honor you with the Lifetime Achievement Award, because your life has been an answer to many questions for individuals who find themselves struggling with society, where we are, and how we move forward. So this award recognizes not only your lifetime of achievement, but a lifetime of impact, and also our communities, our country, and our world, and the influence that you've had. So I want to personally say thank you for your sacrifice, thank you for your service, and thank you so much for your time. And there will be a contribution made on behalf of DeKalb County to your nonprofit to help you continue the work that is absolutely necessary for such a time as this. And at this time, I'll take the award and we're going to pass it along to you. Thank you so much for bringing it.
Husband, father, pastor, activist, and ambassador. Andrew Young has worn many hats throughout the years. He has built his career and dedicated his life to working and fighting for equal opportunity.
You have to learn to disagree without being disagreeable. You have to learn to understand and forgive people who wrong you. Dr. King used to say, if we're all going to get even, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, means we'll be a nation blind and toothless. But if we do learn to appreciate people who disagree and people who are different, our lives become so enriched that everybody wants to be a part of it.
A close confidant to Atlanta's favorite son, Martin Luther King Jr., Young served as executive director of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the SCLC. He was a key strategist for Selma and Birmingham. These pivotal, violent focal points of the 1960s U.S. Civil Rights Movement helped shine a global light on systematic racism. His work for social change helped pass the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and Voting Rights Act of 1965. In 1972, Young was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, becoming the first African American from Georgia elected to Congress since Reconstruction. In 1977, he was appointed as an ambassador to the United Nations under the Carter administration. During this time, he negotiated an end to white minority rule in Namibia and Zimbabwe. Though a native of New Orleans, Young's impact on shaping the infrastructure of Atlanta is vast. He was elected mayor of Atlanta in October 1981 and officially took office in January 1982. During his 2 terms, he brought the 1996 Olympics to Atlanta, secured federal funding for MARTA, and expanded the world's busiest airport, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, forever changing the landscape of the city we all know and love. Through a lifetime of legacy and leadership, Young has shaped history. Join us as we honor a visionary devoted to serving the people.
Ambassador Young, it is beyond an honor to present this award to you. Your leadership, your impact, and honestly, your vision. And being a biblically based person, for it is written, and I'm not a biblical scholar either, but I often say somewhere between Genesis and Revelations, that for a lack of vision, a people perish. Your leadership has been a blueprint, it's been a model, and you are absolutely inspiring to me. And I would hope that those of us who are in leadership would look at what you've done and the contributions you've made, because many of the things that you've done, from securing the Olympics to also understanding the need for equity and inclusion, you created policies during a time that were inclusive of all people, that changed the landscape for many Black, brown, underserved, and women. And today, for what you've done, we simply say thank you, we acknowledge you, and there are those of us who truly pray that one day we'll have the impact that you have. And now, back to Lori Wilson.
And I think we can all take a moment. This young man actually has a birthday coming up, March 12th. So maybe we could just, I don't know if y'all want to sing, right? March 12th. How young will you be, sir? 94. All right, that deserves a happy birthday. I'll step away from the mic. Oh, yes, And we have a professional vocalist who can come up here and do this. So I'm going to turn it back over to Lisa. Lori. I said everybody gets my name wrong and they call me. Okay, Lori Williams.
I'm in awe, and I'm just blessed to be in the room, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much. I want to thank DeKalb County government for having me again to come and do this, but this is a big honor. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. May God bless and keep you. May God bless you. May God bless you. May our God bless you.
And as we close, we're going to take a moment to recognize an iconic civil rights leader that we recently lost following a musical selection by Lori Williams. Please take a look at your screen.
I am somebody. I am somebody. I am somebody. Leaders must be tough enough to fight, tender enough to cry, human enough to make mistakes, humble enough to admit them, strong enough to absorb the pain, and resilient enough to bounce back and keep on moving. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
You all know this. We've come this far by faith, leaning on the Lord, trusting in His holy word. He's never failed me yet. Oh, can't turn around. We've come this far by faith. Can y'all sing that? We've come this far by faith, leaning on the Lord, trusting in His holy word. He's never failed me yet. Oh, can't turn around. We've come this far by faith. Don't be discouraged when trouble's in your life. He'll bear your burdens and move all misery and strife. That's why I know we've come this far by faith, leaning on the Lord, Trusting in his holy word. He's never failed me yet. Oh, 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 can't turn around. We've come this far by faith. And this one that Mayor Young said about a little bit about, I got the joy in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart, oh, down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart, oh, down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. Amen. Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to take a quick moment. I see that Commissioner Long Spears, one of our members of the governing authority for DeKalb County Board of Commissioners, has joined us. Please stand. We want to make sure we acknowledge you. And also, I would just like to take a moment to acknowledge, honestly, the most amazing in-house team of communications professionals that DeKalb County has ever had, for putting together this amazing program, for making the videos that begin, in some instances, recording of legacy. Thank you all so much for what you do. It truly takes a village. I see department directors, I see many individuals that make DeKalb who we are. And I'm very thankful for you, and I'm also very grateful for the many volunteers. And let's walk away more dedicated to all people. We celebrate Black History Month, but there are so many people who have made amazing contributions. And today we celebrate, in the spirit of greatness, all of those individuals. And thank you all so much for coming. And now, last but not least, the amazing Lori Wilson.
What do you say after that, except thank you all so much? Ambassador Young, thank you, thank you, thank you. Reverend Zeb, Rabbi Zev, thank you. Justice Ward Sears, thank you. And to all of you who are here, thank you so much for being here, for watching Channel 2. And we will see you next year, same time, right back here. All right? Thank you guys so much.